Hey everyone, thanks for watching and thanks for tuning in to another Baldy Locks Goes Outside video. I'm at Bartlett Lake again, gonna try to put the smack down on some flathead. I don't do. But little announcement, I've decided, little challenge for myself for 2025. I'm gonna catch every species of fish that you can catch on rod and reel in Arizona. All of Arizona. This should be a fun little endeavor. Easy species like trout, bass, catfish, carp, bluegill, all that stuff, no problem. A little more challenging fish like walleye, something I've never caught in my life, are going to be fun for me to go try to catch. I'm pretty pumped about it. So I'm back at Bartlett, going to catch the usual suspects, knock a couple of these fish off the list, hopefully. So I appreciate you watching. Hang out with me.
Okay, let's go.
Goal!
Good afternoon. It's a beautiful day. I'm back at Bartlett. My wife's out of town on a girls' trip, and I had a free night, so I think everybody knows what I'm gonna do. It is Saturday, January 25th. Dead calm, nice out. Probably it's been a chilly morning, probably 60 degrees now. And I'm gonna do some crappie fishing today with minnows. More about that in a bit. Come fish with me. Just went in the marina and got some minnows that hopefully put me on a couple of crappie. That'd be fun. Got an aerator lid. So that'll get us there. Well, I fished around for a couple hours. I could see them on my depth finder, little schools of fish hanging out. They were moving around pretty good. Without live scope and a trolling motor with spot lock, it was kind of hard to stay on the fish. I know it looks really calm, but the boat still moves a little bit. So I got skunked on the old crappie. Crappie 1, Baldy Lock 0. I did get a few bites and a few baits stolen, but nothing to show for it. So I think it's time to move on to flathead and a delicious dinner. So I'm where I'm gonna be tonight, and I don't know much about this spot. I think I fished it once years ago with no luck, but I'm down by the dam, and this is one of the few spots that's sheltered from the wind. It wasn't terribly windy, but it was a cold ride over here, so it feels good in my little sheltered spot. I'm going to set up a nice cozy fort tonight. Again, I'm gonna make some stew and hopefully catch something. I busted out on crappie. I did get some bites, but nobody was really catching any. So I just moved on, got to where I'm gonna be, and just get on with our evening. All right, man, secure. I left this wide open because I'm gonna be watching for fish. But that recliner in there is looking pretty cozy. I'm probably gonna have some cheese and crackers and watch my rods not move. I don't have high hopes for tonight. And you know, I never saw another catfisherman. It's Saturday night. There's not one other catfisherman on this lake that I saw. So maybe everybody knows something I don't. I'm having fun anyway. There it is. I freaking love this, man. What a blessing. What a cool evening. It's chilly out. It's not cold. And I'm up here just doing a little hike. There's the boat. Rod's been in for a few hours, nothing. I think I almost expected that. Yeah. Now I'm starting to wonder, instead of being right there, maybe I should be on this side. I don't know, since the wind's gone. Good stuff. All right, drink of choice. This is a Safeway brand bourbon. Not bad, actually, pretty good. But I'm mixing it. I do some of that in my tumbler, a little bit of this Mio orange, and a seltzer water. I used to do whiskey Coke, but I just can't do the sugar anymore. So this is a better alternative to whiskey Coke, and it tastes delicious. So I got to start wearing some swag from some YouTube channels that I like a lot. Boop. River Certified, Spencer. I think if you're a catfisherman and you don't know who that is, then you don't have YouTube, because he's got like 160,000 followers and he puts out good content and catches huge fish. So River Certified, if you never watched it, give it a shot. And it's keeping my head warm. I like it. All right, it's time for dinner. I'm going to walk you through this homemade beef stew. I start with some bacon. By the way, I got this recipe from Cowboy Kent Rollins. 3 million followers on YouTube. Very cool outdoor chef, chuck wagon style. Anyway, got my mom's old cast iron out. Gonna cook this bacon till it renders the fat down and the bacon gets crispy. And I'll remove the bacon and leave the rendered fat in there to cook this chuck steak. I'm gonna add a little flour to that steak, kind of gonna help thicken it later. This is garlic powder, and then a prime rib seasoning. Had a lot of herbs and stuff in it, and pepper and things that are good. So steak wasn't quite cut up good enough, but I'm gonna mix that all together while the bacon's cooking. Looking pretty good there. So we'll move this over to a paper plate so we can cook our chuck steak in that grease. I don't want to cook it all the way through. I really just want to brown it, give it a nice sear. That way, has a good texture on it when we stew it. So I'm adding it to the bacon grease here. Flip it around. Probably didn't need to leave that so long. Yeah, it's flat. All right, time to mix everything together. Throw that bacon back in there. Pinto beans, kind of not a usual thing in chili, but Rotel, that either. I love that. Green chilies, because I like flavor. And I made kind of a mirepoix, onions, celery, and carrots, and then some whole potatoes, baby potatoes. Threw a bunch of that in there, maybe too much. Got some tomato paste, and then I'm gonna throw about 3 cups of beef stock in there. That's basically gonna be everything that's in it. Come on now. This cast iron is old Griswold, about 100-year-old cast iron. My mom took such good care of it, and I'm happy to be using it. I'll take good care of it as well. All right, in the oven, the barbecue acts as an oven. And that's gonna cook for about 2 hours. I'm cleaning the Rotel can. You'll find out why later. I plan on making some biscuits. That's gonna be my biscuit cutter. Okay, I made too much stew. It's in there. I got it. I'm gonna let it simmer for an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. I want that meat good and tender, and the vegetables soft. But I made enough for like 8 people. But that's fine. My wife can try some. I think it'll be delicious. It's not really traditional stew. I don't think you put pinto beans and tomatoes in regular stew. But I do because I like flavor. I didn't add any salt because I did the bacon with the bacon grease. And that's pretty salty. So I'll let it simmer for an hour and then I'll taste it. And then add salt, pepper as necessary. All right, so I'm trying to keep this thing around 350. 300 to 350. And what makes this barbecue good as an oven is for whatever reason, they call it an infrared. It's really just flames and stuff. But it does have these plates, so it's not direct heat. You can see the heat underneath. So basically, it's like an oven, which sucks if you're trying to sear a steak, and I've been there. But it's pretty awesome when you're trying to stew some stew. This is looking good. It's looking really good. Got a ways to go yet. It's just about 9 o'clock at night. Been getting some taps on the lines, but no commitments. I'm guessing that's smaller fish working on those mackerel. Yeah. Just finishing up my cigar. Really having a nice night. It's not too terribly cold. Probably because there's no wind. Even if there was, it wouldn't get me. Remember when I said I wasn't hungry? I lied. I forgot to film the last step to this recipe. 2 parts cornstarch to 1 part water. I'd say 2 tablespoons to 1 tablespoon. And then I put it in here as a thickening agent, and it works amazing. Look, it's just thickened up. And it's more like a stew now than a soup. All right, it's done. I brought a nice bowl to eat this out of, but it fell on the boat and shattered. So I got Tupperware or whatever, disposable things. I'm gonna let this cool down a bit, but this is quite a meal. Quite a dinner, and there'll be plenty for tomorrow. So I'm not going to make the biscuits. I will do biscuits and gravy in the morning. Yeah, hang out. Good morning. old Skunkaroony last night. But it doesn't surprise me. I'm in a weird spot. I'm all the way down by the dam. Some years it's good down here. Some years there's nothing, and there's nothing. So I couldn't even catch another carp. Yeah, I think I'm 50-50 on whether I'm going to make the biscuits and gravy. I'm feeling a little lazy, and I don't much like not catching a crappie, so I may head over there for a couple hours and drown some minnows. Try to at least pull a crappie and mark that one off my list, because I don't think you get to fish those all year round. There's only certain times. So anyways, thanks for camping with me. We'll keep you posted on what I do with the rest of the day. Right on. Well, I don't usually do breakfast, but I have to do this recipe. This is 2-ingredient biscuits. It is literally self-rising flour and heavy whipping cream. About 2 cups flour, 1.5 cups whipping cream, although I just guessed. Got the dough where I wanted it, and you start working it. It's not pizza dough, so you don't have to work it too much, but you want to bring it together so it's not tacky on the outside, but if you were to break it open, it would be tacky on the inside. Then you flatten it to about a 1/2 inch thick, cut it into biscuits, cook it at 450 for 15 to 20 minutes. Boom, biscuits. I think that's the easiest recipe I've ever heard of in my life. So here I am working it. I've never done this before, so I'm pretty happy to be doing it. I saved that Rotel coffee can, I saved that Rotel can because it was a perfect size for biscuits. And see here, I'm right. I'm told by Cowboy Kent that you don't want to twist the can because it seals the edges and it keeps it from rising very well. And these biscuits rise quite a bit. I was pretty impressed. So I'll make as many biscuits as I can out of the dough, and we're going to put them in some cast iron and back in the oven at somewhere around 450, and I'm going to get working on that gravy. So I'm having a ball right now. Stick of butter, just going to kind of coat the cast iron with it. I wasn't sure if it was going to stick or not, but that might ensure that it doesn't. Here we got just breakfast summer sausage. You could do spicy or mild. I did mild this time, and packet of country gravy. I love this brand, Pioneer. What I usually do, I put that thing in a 1/2 cup of water, mix it up so it's really good, and then you're supposed to put 1.5 cups of water in the pan and then add that to it. But I always added milk. I didn't want to do the heavy cream, which is all I had. I probably should have added a little bit, though. You can see here my sausage is done. The recipe on the packet doesn't call for sausage, but I do. And then I put the water in, wishing I did milk. I think the milk would have tasted better. A little heavy cream in there would have went a long way. Biscuits right here, I was so surprised. They fluffed right up. The one problem I had was they were browning a bit on the bottom, but they were still completely white on top. And I don't know if I needed to lower the temperature or what, but just added the gravy mix to that, and it thickens up. A little salt, a lot of pepper. I love it. Then we just go ahead and turn the heat off on that and let it sit there and thicken up. Check out these biscuits. I'm so happy with myself. I don't make biscuits regularly. Two ingredient biscuits, and they were light, fluffy, and delicious. And my wife had them the next night at home, and she agreed they were really good. But for a guy who doesn't make breakfast on his boat, I think I did all right on this one. this day. Holy smokes. I mean, glass calm. And no wind, no, God, it's not even cold. I'm in a t-shirt. Be a little chilly cruising with the boat, but I'm not ready to go home yet. So back to the crappie, I think. Maybe bass, whatever will eat a little minnow. But holy smokes, man. Again, I'm just absolutely blessed to be here. I love it so much. Wish my wife was with me. Right on. Nobody left me, so we're good. Lot going on today. Woo! This is the school of fish I'm over. That's ridiculous. All right, that's a decent bass right there. Biggest one I've caught in a while. Should I put a scale on it? Probably weighs 2 pounds. But that was a fun catch on 2 pound test. All right, I'm trying to catch crappie. I keep catching bass, but that'll do. All right, I got 2 species off my list. I got the common carp, and I got a largemouth bass. Both those are great to get. They're pretty normal for me catching, but that sends me on my way. I just got about 100 more to go. I got t-shirts. You guys, if you want to go on my website, bodylockgoesoutside.com, and buy a shirt, I appreciate that. And subscribing would be huge right now. Trying to get to 1,000 followers. I appreciate you watching. Thank you. Sorry I didn't catch a flathead, but better luck next time. Have a good night.
Okay, let's go.